Sairam everyone, and welcome back to our political science class. Let us continue with our lesson, that is working of institution. We have already started with our topic, the decision maker, right? Now children, in the last class we read about office memorandum that was issued by the Government of India on 13th August 1990. Hope so you all remember this. Now this order was signed by the Joint Secretary. He was an officer in the Department of Personnel and Training in the Ministry of Personnel, Public Grievance and Pension. Am I right? Now, were the major functionaries? See, it is the Joint Secretary who signed the order. Now, big question. Were the major functionaries in our country, Prime Minister, President or other cabinet minister, involved in this decision? Because it was signed by Joint Secretary. What about the others? Was he only one to take decision? Let us find out this. Who all were involved in this decision regarding the office memorandum? So, let us continue from where we left in the last class. Children, this office memorandum was the culmination of many events, or you can say a chain of events. In 1979, actually 1979, look at the year 1979, the Government of India appointed second, not the first, second Backward Classes Commission. Okay, and this commission was headed by B.P. Mandal, and hence it was called as Mandal Commission. Look at your monitor. He is B.P. Mandal, who headed the commission. Now, this commission, which was set up, was asked, they were given some work. And what was their work? They were asked to find out the criteria to find the socially and educationally backward classes in our country. Also, they were asked to suggest some steps that were to be taken for the advancement, for the upliftment of the people belonging to socially backward and educationally backward classes. Some remedy, some solution, okay, to uplift the life of the people belonging to these classes. According to the commission, this commission worked accordingly and gave its report in 1980. See, 1979 this commission was appointed, and in 1980 it gave its report and many recommendations too. Okay, one of the recommendation given was that 27% of the government jobs, I'm talking about the government jobs, not about the private jobs in the private firms. I'm talking about the government jobs. So 27% of the government jobs be reserved for this socially and educationally backward classes. This report and also recommendations were discussed in Parliament. Children, many parties and also members of the Parliament, they demanded the implementation of this Commission's recommendation for many years. Now, Lok Sabha elections were to be held. Okay, Lok Sabha elections of 1989. Now, every party campaigns for the election, right? Lok Sabha elections are for the Prime Minister. We all know that. Now, during this election campaign, Janata Dal. Now, Janata Dal is a political party just like Congress, Shiv Sena, Aam Aadmi. It is also a political party. Now, this Janata Dal made a big announcement. See, every political party has their manifesto, right? Some party, they talk about in the campaigns like bringing the black money back to our country, or some talk about the incentives to be given to the farmers, yeah, or forgive their loans. So same way, even Janata Dal had their manifesto. They made a big announcement during this campaign of election. They said that it would, they promised the people that it would, if they would win election, they would implement the Mandal Commission report. Okay? Now, it was not a law, remember that. It is a recommendation till now. Now, and what was the result of this election? Janata Dal got majority in the election, and this party formed the government. VP Singh, do you see on your monitor VP Singh? VP Singh, who was the leader of Janata Dal at the time, and he became the Prime Minister of India. And then several developments took place. Let's see them. Okay, what are these developments that took place during VP Singh? The President of India, see what is the topic? The decision maker. That means one person is not involved in taking decision. There are many more people who are involved, many more institutions are involved in making a decision. Now, one is here, the President of India. So he is also involved. Okay, in his address to the Parliament, he announced the intention of the government to implement a recommendation of Mandal Commission. See here, this shows that even the President was involved in decision making. And on 6th October 1990, the Union Cabinet took decision to implement the recommendation. Now the cabinet ministers are also involved in it. And finally, next day, VP Singh, the Prime Minister of India at the time, he informed the Parliament about this decision through a statement in both the houses of the Parliament, that is the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. This decision of the cabinet was sent to the Department of the Personnel and training. Okay, the senior officer of this department, they drafted an order. Okay, it was sent there, so they drafted an order, and also they took approval of the minister. An officer signed this order. Not everyone, see, all are involved: prime minister, president, cabinet minister. But who signed? An officer signed the order on behalf of the union government. This is how this order came to implementation or born on August 13, 1990. Children, this became the most debated issue in the country, hotly debated issue of the country for next few months. Everywhere, all over the country, all newspapers and magazines were full of different opinions, different views of the people on this issue. This order further led to protests. Yes, widespread protest and counter protest took place. And some of these protests were violent. Violent because people, reacted to this order very strongly. The reason was this decision affected thousands of job opportunities. People had different opinions. Some were in favor of this order and some were against this order. Those who were in favor of this order, they felt that the inequalities among people belonging to different castes necessitated job reservation. They felt that this would give an opportunity to the people of those communities who had not represented government employment. Okay, so they all were in favor. Now, those people who were not in favor of this order felt that this was unfair, as it was possible that it would deny equal opportunity to those who did not belong to backward communities. Even though being more qualified, they would be denied jobs. Even though they are qualified, highly qualified, they would be denied jobs. This was the feeling of the people. Some felt that this would perpetuate the feeling of caste among the people and result in national unity. Okay? Here we won't discuss whether, we are not discussing whether this order was right or wrong. This is only an example to understand how major major decisions were taken and implemented in our country. What is the topic we are learning? The decision maker. So it is not one person. All other institutions are involved in decision making. This is what is important here. Okay, we are not judging or discussing whether the Mandal Commission was right or wrong. Children, we all know there were a lot of protests taking place. Even some protests were very violent. Now, big question: who resolved these disputes? Okay, I'll tell you. See, we all know that the Supreme Court and the High Court in India settle down disputes. Even disputes that arises out of government decision. Some associations and also some people who oppose this order filed a number of cases in the court. They appealed the court to declare this order invalid and stop its implementation. Now, what did the Supreme Court do? The Supreme Court of India, it bunched all these cases together, and this case was known as the Indra, Swane and others versus Union of India case. Now, 11 judges of the Supreme Court, they came to the word, they gave the verdict. Okay, 11 judges of the Supreme Court, they heard arguments of both the sides. Those who opposed the order and those who favored the order. They heard both the sides, and in 1992, by a majority, the Supreme Court judges declared that this order of the government was valid. Okay, but at the same time, the Supreme Court asked the government to modify the original order. See, they didn't find anything wrong in it, but a small little modification was required of the original order. What was the change? I'll tell you. See, they wanted job. They were not. The verdict given was the job, 27% job opportunity, job reservation will be there. But now, well-to-do persons among the backward classes or socially educated, socially backward classes or educationally backward classes, they should be excluded. The rich people from this community will be excluded from getting benefits of reservation. So, on September 8th, 1993, the Department of Personnel and Training issued another office memorandum, and thus this dispute came to an end. Okay, and this policy has been followed from then till today in our country. Okay, this policy is followed in our country till today. So children, we saw how all the institutions, see, when we are saying institution, here we mean only political institution, and in this lesson we are going to talk only about political institution. Okay, not any other institution. So we saw how in a decision making all the institutions are involved. Okay, so I'll stop over here. We will continue with this lesson in the next class. Till then, thank you and take care.